a short reminder. Don't wait for awakening. Don't fall into the trap of imagination. Don't give yourself to the hoping one, the one that thinks that something up ahead is going to be different from the something now. Don't wait for awakening. Because if you wait for awakening, you're going to be caught in a kind of limbo, a kind of not meeting life as it is now. And if you watch my videos, it's always about meeting what is here now, this. We've deferred to our imagination, and the imagination is fantastic in so many ways, creatively, visioning. But when it comes to the deepest root of the spiritual path, it doesn't serve so well, because it keeps everything up there somewhere. And so we get lost in the imagination of what awakening might look like. My God, the number of times that I've worked with people who have an idea of awakening, of enlightenment, of realization, and that nothing in the present moment ever matches up to that. And so therefore, I'm not there yet syndrome. The I'm not there yet syndrome that pervades the spiritual path. It's the most insidious thing of all in many ways. Because although there's a seed or a grain of truth in some of that, it's also, a major hindrance. It's a major kind of break, or it's a major kind of deferring and a major deflection. You have to understand that the mind, the ego mind, wants to avoid, or not even wants to avoid, but is habituated, predicated, structured, built. Its whole mechanism is functionality, to get somewhere, to do something, to work something out, to move us somewhere, to head into the future, to look to the past. All these things to keep both itself busy, occupied, doing something functional, and also to serve the organism. And so it takes the spiritual journey, and us as identified with the one who is seeking, inevitably knows we're not there yet, and so casts it into the future and says, yes, and I need this information or that knowledge or this depth or this insight or this clearing, or the path is up ahead somewhere, because the picture that is painted, that I'm perceiving, that spiritual teachers or the wisdom books or the sages, the picture that they paint of the moon, using that metaphor, of enlightenment and realization and awakening, is not what I'm experiencing. So therefore I'm not there yet. I must clear up myself. I must clear out my stuff. I must do this. I must do this. Because, let's say, for example, one of the great ideas of awakening or self-realization is that almost the whole of the human experience is in many ways perfect or effortless or without difficulty, and there's no issue. There's no movement in effect, sort of flatlined, just an ongoing, peaceful sort of swanning around in life without any waves at all. That's probably one of the most insidious ideas, because anything that keeps everything up there and perpetuates the I'm not there yet is useless in many ways. Now, we do have to have some grit. There has to be grit, because usually there's stuff to clear up. Usually there is. But that's not in the realm of imagination, that's in the realm of now. What is the pain that's arising now? Why is that arising? Because there's unresolved backlog. Well, let's look at that. Well, I had a difficult past and I'm still carrying it. Okay. Well, let's look at that. What's arising now then? Well, I believe that I'm not worthy of something. There's a shadow that follows me around. Okay. Let's look at that then. Let's dive through that. Is that who you are? In this moment, the value of presence on the journey cannot be understated. And most people don't know what presence really is. Because again, there's an imagination of presence. That presence is just, again, some kind of cloudless sky. But presence, like the whole of spiritual awakening, is not a cloudless sky. It's a sky that is equanimous, whether the clouds are moving through it or the clouds are not moving through it. It's an awareness of sky in which clouds move through. It's the non-identification with the clouds, but it's not a cold, sterile, dry place. It's a place of sky as love, in which clouds move through. The clouds of the human experience move through. It's got nothing to do with imagination. So, the idea that it's up ahead somewhere is absurd, because it's not on the linear plane. And so all we can do is to be here now and honor what is arising and look to what is arising within ourselves on ever deeper levels. The way is not linear. The way is vertical. The way is through the verticality of being. The way is in. And as we go in, we discover more and more and more subtleties, nuances, shadows, beliefs, ideas, resistances, beauty, love, defendedness, the vastness of being, the existential sort of hole within us, denied love. Everything, simply through falling inwards into the verticality of being. That's the great meeting. That's the great meeting we have with ourselves. It's an intimate meeting with all of that as we go ever inwards. It's not a one-time deal. It's an ever evolving, ever deepening journey of the most profound and deepest intimacy with what is arising. We're not staying on the surface of ourselves. So it's not staying here and what is arising is coming up here. It's actually us falling inwards to meet what is arising on ever deeper levels of intimacy and presence and love. See how it's got nothing to do with the imagination that says, and awakening, if I do this, this and this, and I read this, this and this, and I do this and this and this practice, then I'm going to get to awakening. It's not a mountain. It's like a cave. It's not a mountain you climb up. Although it is a mountain you climb up. But it's a falling inwards into that ever, ever, ever deepening. By and by, you go so deep, you fall through. And falling through, you fall out of yourself and into the universe. That's when it gets very mysterious. That's when it gets divine. That's when the real union of the essence of us is felt. But there's no I in it. I mean, there's no me in it. Me has dissolved into the essence, into the universe. It's like going down and then out, like that. We always think of spirituality as up and into the universe through the crown. But, it tends to, give us the idea that it's almost got nothing to do with the human experience. But that's so not true. The human experience is the doorway to the universe, to the divinity of us, to the divine essence of us. And in that sense, and I'm going to make a video about this soon, is that we, the human journey and the spiritual journey are one journey. We think it's a human journey, but it turns out to be a spiritual journey. The spiritual and the human are both the same. But we only find that through an ever deepening sense, knowing of ourselves, in the intimacy of falling inwards, the intimacy of falling inwards. And so that's got not much to do with, the imagination of what's ahead at the next station, or the end of the road is like Shangri-La. It doesn't serve very much purpose, apart from taking us away from our capacity to meet life here again and again and again and again. So thank you very much for listening.